entrepreneurs and business owners, whatever you do. And so one big thing that I struggle with is names. For years I had a real problem, and even today, if I don't do a certain process, I'll like, hey, what's your name? Great. And then like 10 minutes later, like, who is that? No clue. And that is going to affect your money over the course of a year. You're going to make a lot less money. So I wanted to show you something that I learned in 1995. That I learned this in like 8 minutes, and I promise you, this has probably made me at least $1 million over the last whatever, just by taking 8 minutes to learn something cool. Okay? I don't know if you guys have ever seen in the media where certain people can remember, like their memory is just phenomenal. And there's these two guys in New York that run a pizza place in the Bronx, and it's real famous. And they'll go out, and on certain, like Wednesday night, they'll have like 150 people out the door. And these two brothers will go out and they'll be like, what do you want? Okay, what do you want to drink? Yep, what else? Yep, what do you want? Okay, yep, what do you want? They'll go out, 150 people, they'll take the order, they don't write anything down, and they'll go back in and they'll tell the cooks the whole deal. And you can even try to fake them out and try to switch places, and they're like, you had the manicotti? No, nice try, you had the manicotti. They won't get it wrong. And it's pretty amazing. And they've been on the Food Channel in different places, like nonstop. But that's a learned thing. And if you guys want to learn it, I can show you how they do it real quick. And what's cool is I learned this in about, like I said, about 8 minutes in 1995. And a few years later, I did this show. And this lady was, I had met this lady, and her name was Jill. And I was in a certain state. And then like a couple years later, I was all the way across the U.S. in a different state. And this lady came up to me, and she's like, you know, I wanted to shake hands with you. We met years ago. I'm sure you don't remember, because you probably meet thousands of people, but we did meet and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, and I was able to pull her name. Yeah. Can you imagine? In our business, that's pretty crazy, because we meet a lot of people. And she was just like, what? And it really has a profound effect if you can remember something like that. So here's, what I have to do is I have to teach you a list of 20 things in the next 8 minutes. And what it's going to do, and I give a talk on this, I don't have time to give it today, but I give a talk on how your brain from Harvard Medical Center processes information, and it files different things in certain categories of your brain. So, for instance, where we file words is a different section where we file pictures. And the category where we file words a lot of times, or let's say names, a lot of times that section of our brain it's not what's called quick retrieval data. You can't access it very easily by you. But if it goes into a different part of our brain, like as in a picture form, it's easier to retrieve. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to shift, when we say somebody's name, we're going to associate it with a picture. And it's going to make that file in a separate category of your brain, to where now you'll be able to pull names like you never have before, because we're filing it in a different area. Does that make sense? And so it's just a list of 20 items. So here's number one. Try to